Yes guys, welcome back to another video here on the Andy#1 channel. It's Tuesday, we've had a week off, but we're back in my front room, daughter's playing room, my dining room, for another episode of Tuesday Talks, where I sit down and chat to a current professional, someone in the world of football, about their experiences, about how they've got to where they are today. Now, today's guest, a friend of mine, #Academy winner, Scott Pollock, current professional footballer, I should say in there as well, with Northampton Town, just won promotion from League 2 to League 1. We're going to be chatting to Scott about his unique journey, one-of-a-kind journey into professional football via YouTube, via #United. So we'll be chatting to him about a wide range of things, about Wembley Cup, man of matches, playing in front of 35,000 people, playing then in professional football and everything in between. So going to be chatting through that for about the next half hour or so. Stick with it, it's going to be a good one. Let's see what Scott's got to say. Hello mate, how are you?
Hello, good, thank you. How you been?
Yeah, all right. We haven't spoken for a little bit. How's things been?
Yeah, it's been a while. Obviously a lot's changed since the # days, but yeah, been well. Obviously had a good end to the season, so got a little bit of time off now before the start of the next season, which we're not sure when it's going to happen, but yeah, hopefully soon.
So we're doing Tuesday Talks today on a Wednesday because you had your haircut yesterday and you had a haircut appointment booked in. So let's have a look at your hair.
Not too bad.
Yeah, you happy with that?
To be fair, I'd take anything after not having it cut for about 2 months.
Yeah, I'm growing it out. I'm holding on.
Don't look too bad, to be fair.
I've done it for the first time tonight in about 3 weeks. So
yeah, looks all right.
Normally it's just like a big bowl.
Yeah, that's on my sides are right up to here. So
yeah.
It's much better now.
Good. So how has lockdown been for you?
Found it okay. I've obviously getting still on the ball because we obviously got playoffs to look forward to during lockdown. So we're still motivated to get fit and maintain our training levels throughout. So I was definitely a lot busier than I probably usually would be. So it was good.
And you're also filming your 100 challenges in 100 hours.
Yeah, I filmed that just before we found out when we'd be back, because we might not be back. So I thought I've got a little bit of time. So yeah, they're all filmed in May, way before playoffs. So
yeah, was that the last video out? Was it yesterday?
Yeah, last video was yesterday.
I haven't seen that one yet. How did you find the goalkeeper challenge that I set you?
I don't know if I did it right, but I managed to get 12, I believe, which was the same as yours, I think.
Yeah,
or something like that.
I cheated a little bit, I think, in the one that I.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I did it exactly right or not, but yeah, it was a good fun, that one.
Yeah, not quite as hard as kicking the ball over your house, running around, taking a phenomenal touch on the other side
not
of it.
Quite.
Not quite. Right, we're going to be chatting through the next half hour or so. So the idea of Tuesday Talks, every Tuesday I have a chat with someone in the game, such as yourself, about their journey, about how they've got to where they are today. Now, you've got a really unique story to chat through, potentially a trailblazing story, first of a kind, to go from, albeit football and an academy system and other bits that you were joining, but from YouTube, then into an educational program, then into Northampton.
Yeah.
So we're going to be chatting through that journey today, and I'm sure there'll be lots of little tips and bits along the way. Mm-hmm. So we're going to go right. We're going to start off where everything starts off, right at the beginning. When did you start playing?
I picked it up quite late, to be fair. It was around when I was like 9, 10, so fairly late. Nowadays, I know a lot of people get into academies when they're like 5 or 6. So I was fairly late to actually joining the team, and that was Sunday League. Just when I was like 10, that's how it all started, really.
So what were you doing beforehand? Were you playing sports, or were you just?
I was playing, but I never joined the team. I was obviously playing like in primary school and stuff like that. But yeah, never joined the team. I know all of my friends had been like Sunday League teams, but I never got to that stage until I was about 10. So yeah, I was enjoying just a wide range of sports before that, but never really settled down to football and joined the team.
I mean, I follow you on Instagram and everything else as well, and you're playing a lot of golf at the moment.
A little bit, yeah.
So I'm assuming from that you've played or have played a number of sports throughout the whole of your youth.
Yeah, when I was really young, my dad wanted me to be a golfer because he was a scratch golfer himself. So he wanted me to pick up the clubs, and yeah, like every weekend we'd go out and play like a little 6-hole when I was younger. So yeah, maybe when I was a bit younger, golf was probably the ambition, and then during primary school, picked up football a bit more and started enjoying that.
Yeah, because I mean, you're not a bad golfer now for
Yeah,
someone who hasn't played a lot.
I try.
I know
I
you've
try and be
taken
alright.
tips and lessons and whatever else from Seb.
Yeah, I try. I try and be alright.
So what other sports were you playing when you were a youngster then?
Basketball was probably a main one in primary school. Yeah, I like basketball. Played a bit of cricket as well, and also did gymnastics. Surprisingly,
Okay.
I did gymnastics for about 6 years.
Did you?
Yeah.
I think it was Rio Ferdinand did ballet. I think when he was a kid. So you did gymnastics.
Yeah, a little bit of a bump, but yeah.
How high up in the gymnastics then? I'm guessing they do like tiering, awards, that sort of stuff. Were you a pretty good gymnast?
I went to all the competitions. I've won a few medals in my day when I was younger. But then sort of football took over a little bit more, so I didn't really follow through with it. But I sort of preferred, like when I got to like 12, 13, I preferred like the free running, like parkour, as people call it.
Yeah. So
like more the flips and stuff rather than all the flexible stuff. That's
okay. Because I mean, well, we've done a few videos before together where you've played in goal, and
yeah,
and you're pretty good at goal as well. You've got some power about you. You've got some athleticism about you. So do you think that comes then from your gymnasts?
Yeah, I'd say so. Like the jumping around and not being afraid to jump high and like on the side and stuff. I think that's where it comes from.
Do you think then playing those sort of sports as a kid has helped you become a footballer?
I think in some aspects, yeah. Like the gymnastics, I did a lot of like conditioning stuff for like the core strength, which obviously is very important in football nowadays. So I think maybe from a young age that definitely helped. And a little bit more flexibility work, stretching and stuff in gymnastics probably followed through with picking up less injuries and stuff like that in football.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, so you were 9 years old when you first started playing football for a team.
Yeah.
When did you first start trialling for professional teams?
It was around 13, 14. I got picked up sort of as a from the elite. There was like one below the academy at Leicester. That was so I went on trial with the elite a few times and trained with a few of the people from the academy. But that was I was sort of trialing as a goalkeeper and as an outfield player because I was playing both. So when the keeper for Leicester wasn't there or didn't turn up or was injured, I'd go and goal. So it was sort of like balancing which one I want to be. And then eventually at a trial, they told me I wasn't going to be tall enough to be a keeper. So that's when I made the choice to go forward with being an outfield player.
Yeah. So how tall are you now?
We'll call it 6 foot.
Call it 6 foot.
Call it 6 foot, just 6 foot, yeah.
Yeah. And then what's the size difference between you and the keepers at Northampton now then?
Yeah, quite a big difference. Well, especially with one of them, Steve Arnold, who's about 6'3", 6'4", maybe. Not too much, but a little bit, yeah.
Do you think it was the right choice then to go down the outfield route versus the goalkeeping route? I
suppose nowadays people want a keeper that can play a bit. So I don't know, maybe I would have been one of them keepers, like a little Edison or something.
Yeah. Do you think that option's still available for you potentially in the future?
Maybe if there's a game where I'm playing and both keepers get injured and there's my chance.
Yeah, you'll be back.
And then, might get signed as a keeper.
Yeah, nice. All right. So, I mean, you were 12, did you say, when you went to Leicester?
Yeah, around 12, 13.
Yeah. So talk us through that process then, about the trialling process.
Yeah, so I went up to Leicester's academy. They've got a nice big dome there. So I'd go up sort of once every week for a trial. I think that continued for around 2 months or so. So there was a lot of travelling at the time. But yeah, playing with people from all around the country that were trialling at Leicester. Played a few practice matches, which is a good experience at that age. But yeah, nothing really majorly came from that. But it was good to get that experience at a young age.
So what happened? Was it just a case of that they didn't want to sign you, or you dropped out of the process? How did that?
It was just the fact that they sort of had loads of players sort of already in the position that in midfield I was playing. They sort of had many players like me already, so they didn't feel the need to sign me as well.
And what did that do for you as a kid? Because I've been in that process before, when you get told thanks but no thanks.
Yeah, it's a weird one, but you got to take it in the right way, which luckily I did, and continued and used that as motivation to continue to train and play, and hopefully get that one lucky breakthrough in the future.
So around this age, was it now that you were looking at, right, I want to be a professional footballer? Was that sort of in your mind at that sort of age?
At that age, it probably wasn't. I think I was just enjoying my football so much that I never really thought that was going to be an option. Obviously not in an academy up until I was 17. So yeah, I was just enjoying my football, but never really. I was obviously hoped that it would come to professional, but never really actually thought, all right, it's actually going to become a reality one day.
So what happened then to your football?
I continued playing Sunday League. Played Sunday League up until I was 16, so continued playing that, and then joined Northampton's Elite, which is again like below the academy. So never really in the academy, but training twice a week with the Elite. But we'd play them like in friendly matches against the academy, so it was still a good experience to get.
So you're kind of on the verge of the academy, but not quite at the academy.
Yeah, that was
kind of
sort of how it was.
Yeah, it's replicating the similar sort of situation that you were in Leicester.
Yeah, pretty much.
So around that sort of age as well, who were your idols growing up? Who are the footballers that you looked up to?
To begin with, it was probably Ronaldinho. I've had a few shirts, like Brazilian shirts with him on. So maybe the first one was probably Ronaldinho. I've seen a few clips on him like, online, and thought like the way he played and stuff like that was just enjoyable to watch. And I thought that's how like sort of getting into football would make me enjoy it, the way he played.
Yeah, playing with a smile on your face.
Yeah, pretty much. And then probably the United days for Ronaldo, when he would be on TV, 2008, 2009 time, just as he was moving to Real Madrid. That was probably.
You a United fan?
I'd say in primary, because like sort of everyone started supporting United because they were winning. So it was one of them. Like when you were younger, you sort of supported that team. Where in my case, supported that team that was winning. But no, that was when I was younger. I've changed now.
So who's your team now?
Well, it's always been my family team, but Leicester.
Okay.
Yeah, when they're in the Championship, not when they won the league.
You went from Man United to Leicester. A bit of a come down there.
Recently, maybe not.
Yeah, very true.
But yeah, it was. I've always been my family team. My dad's side was from there, so I supported them.
Okay, so you're 16, 17 now, and you're at the Northampton Elite stage from there. What happened to that?
Well, we had a trial with the academy at under 16s, just as they was finding out who was going to be getting a scholarship with the club. So I went on trial then. It took quite a while, to be fair. They said it in January that I was going, and it didn't happen until April. And around that time, like I said, they were doing the scholarships for the youth team. So I went on trial for about 2 weeks, training twice a week. And it got to the stage where I was doing all right, but they said it was too close to the scholarships. So again, I fell short and had to keep moving on to something else.
So again, that sounds very familiar.
Yeah.
Very similar to the Leicester situation. You're at that elite level, getting to the academy, drop back down to the elite. So, I mean, that's two sort of big disappointments that you've had at young ages as well. And so I suppose you can go two ways with that either way. How is your mindset at that particular point
I think I took it well and just carried on with playing my football. I always thought like when I was there, I was sort of good enough at that stage, in the under 16s, and thought, yeah, if I just keep like getting my head down and training hard and playing well, that maybe one day it will come.
So did you go back to then playing Sunday League again with your mates at that point?
Yeah, still playing Sunday League. And around 16, the elite offered the football and education program. So that's how it sort of went into that. Obviously doing GCSEs at that time. Obviously had the option of going to sixth form, doing A levels. But the elite sort of were pushing players to do the football and education program. So that's how that came around.
And then when did the #Academy process turn up in all this then?
So that was probably around the time where the trials just started in January, just before all the academy trials and stuff happened. So I had quite a lot going on then with the trials and GCSEs at that time, and then obviously the stuff with the academy.
So you had #Academy trials, Northampton Town trials, GCSEs,
yeah,
at the same time. So you had quite a big
busy time.
Yeah. What made you want to go down the #United Academy route?
I think it was the fact I was just like playing Sunday League and like not actually signed to like an academy. I thought it seems like I've watched them. It seems good. I like what they do and like the teams they play and stuff. And I thought it'd be a good experience and good exposure, but never really thought I was going to win it or anything. I just thought I'll turn up and like meet the guys, play some football, and that's it really.
So how was that process for you?
Probably one of the best experiences. But just going from the fact that I didn't expect anything from it, just expected just to turn up that one day and then just play a bit of football and maybe turn home, and I'd probably be all right with that because I wasn't expecting anything. But once it got really into it and seeing like the support from fans and stuff and playing well in the trials, that I thought this could go all the way.
And it did.
Luckily it did, yeah.
Yeah, so how did that change then? How did that change you, and how did that change your outlook and your perception of stuff? Because this sounds to me like you've had disappointment at Leicester, you've had disappointment at Northampton,
yeah,
and now #Academy winner.
Mm-hmm.
So did something change in you then?
I think it definitely motivated me to continue playing football, because at that time I wasn't in an academy. I could have easily gone down the route of doing A levels at sixth form, and then maybe gone to university or something and just done a course or a degree in something. Easily could have gone down that route and maybe continue playing football Sunday League, but not serious, maybe just with mates. So it easily could have gone down that route if I didn't continue with #. If I got turned away at the first trial, I might have continued just buckling down with my different path rather than football. So in a way, # sort of motivated me to continue playing and working hard.
And of course, you're surrounded by a good bunch of lads, obviously, which made the experience amazing, worthwhile.
Yeah.
So, #Academy, what was the best part of that for you?
It's hard to pick one part, but I think just winning it, going all that way, and getting support from the fans. I think that was something like 80,000 people that voted in the final or something, which is just like crazy to get that much support.
Did you start getting recognised in and around Northampton and places that you went to?
A little bit, yeah. And like if I'd playing, because at that time I was going through the trials and playing Sunday League, I'd get like recognised on the pitch and stuff, which can be a good thing.
How did you take that though? Because that's a big change as well. Suddenly you're a 16-year-old who's now getting noticed left, right, and centre. That could be quite daunting in one way.
Yeah, there's been a few times where I've felt maybe a little bit more pressure because you're known as that guy that is on like this big online like YouTube channel, so you're sort of expected to be the best on the pitch. So yeah, in a way it was a little bit more pressure, but I didn't mind that at the time.
And then, so you won the academy. Now you're playing for #United. What did you think of the standard of football at #?
I thought it was good. I thought it was good. Going from like Sunday league to men's football. Obviously saw the change in like physical and sort of the fitness side compared to the Sunday league. So it was definitely felt a bit more obviously well run. Obviously it was well run, but compared to Sunday league, it definitely felt more as like a professional club.
Do you think that actually playing, because that was your first taste of men's football, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Do you think that at a 16-year-old helps your development and helped you actually, prepare yourself for becoming a professional, for playing against men week in, week out?
Yeah, 100%. I definitely think it helped as like getting that exposure at a young age, going all around the country, traveling as if you're a professional and having that media and the views online. And then, like I said, obviously playing against men definitely helped at an early age to get that in you.
Were you the kind of person who would watch the highlights and then read all the comments? Would you look out for your highlights? Would you look out for comments about you throughout
that? Not every time. I'd say there's maybe if I thought I played really well, then I'd go back and look at the highlights and see if it was a good game for me or not. But I wouldn't be too like picky on the comments. I'd see like if there's good support or something, then I might like reply to someone, but never really thought about it too much. So I'll get some light on it. It's gone a bit dark.
It's amazing that was what happens. There we go.
Yeah.
Right, hashtag United. We've got to talk about the Wembley Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, phenomenal for you. Man of the match.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely had. I don't know who was playing left back at the time. Absolutely had him on toast. I've seen that clip of you putting on the floor many times.
Rotenshaw, I think.
Yeah. I mean, talk us through that experience.
Yeah, it's just like a day to remember. Just a dream come true, really. Obviously, playing at Wembley alone is just amazing. But to have 33,000 people in the crowd there supporting you was just unbelievable. But yeah, didn't actually start that game. But coming on, I thought, yeah, this is going to be good. And having the crowd behind you, yeah, it was amazing.
Were you nervous?
Thing is, I've said this a few times. I was more nervous in the warm up coming out than coming on as a sub. I don't know what it was. I think the first time coming out and seeing that Stevie G in that alongside, like pinging balls at the halfway line, like warming up, I felt a little bit more nervous. But when coming on, I don't know, just first few touches all right. I just settled down straight away.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that's always struck me about you is that I don't think I've ever seen you physically look nervous or ever kind of shy away from everything. You've always seemed to be the kind of person that's just like, yeah, sure, I'll go do that. I'll do it to my best ability and I'll see what happens at the end of it. Yeah,
that's what I tried to do. I think once I'm on the pitch, I'm like perfectly fine. Maybe before I get a little bit anxious, a little bit nervous, just wanna get on the pitch. But as soon as I'm on there, I'm sort of settled down.
Yeah, it's kind of like a steely determinedness to you.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people maybe don't see, but normally you're quite quiet and reserved. But I don't think I've ever seen anything faze you in a way that potentially it should have for someone so well at that point.
Yeah.
So you were 16, weren't you? Were you 16 or 17 at the Wembley Cup?
16.
Yeah, so you were a 16-year-old playing in front of 33,000 people. I like to round it to 35 personally when I tell stories about Wembley Cup. So 35,000 people.
Yeah.
Even Gerrard, Emil Heskey and the whatnot. And you're just on the pitch playing the game, having fun.
Yeah, I suppose a lot of younger players might have took the crowd into account more when they're playing and like the cameras and stuff, and maybe got a bit starstruck by it and sort of maybe backed away from like getting the spotlight and getting passes and touches on the ball and stuff. So yeah, I just looked at it as a good opportunity to get on the ball. So as much as I could, just wanted to get on it and show what I could do.
Yeah, best bit of the match for you?
Not too sure. It's a nice bit of skill for Dan's goal. But
Dan's actually been on the chat. Hello, Dan Brown, if he's still in there. He said, great assist, Scotty.
Yeah, there's a few angles which make it look like a bad cross. Maybe David James should have done better, but the skill before it maybe makes up for that.
Nice. And then, so after that, actually, Mark Bright was on commentary with True Geordie. Was he on? He was on commentary, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And Mark Bright's heavily involved in Crystal Palace.
Mm-hmm.
And then from the Wembley Cup, I don't know if many people know this, but then you went on trial to Crystal Palace.
Yeah. So after he was sort of asking if I was playing for anyone, which obviously at the time was just Sunday League, so I wasn't really committed to a team. And yeah, he asked if I wanted to come down to the under-18s for a week on trial down at Crystal Palace. So I took that opportunity.
So you're 16 years old. You just played in front of 33,000 people. Now you've got a trial at Crystal Palace.
Yeah, like literally in a week, it's just completely changed.
You've got to be on top of the world right now.
Yeah, definitely. That definitely helped me with like confidence and stuff going into that trial, like the week after.
So then, what happened during that week?
I went down. The first involvement was a practice match against like a local pickup academy from players that have been released in the area. They made a team and played a friendly against. I think there was a few under 23s as well and 21s. There was a mixture of under 18s, like a development squad. I managed to get a goal and assist, so I thought I'd done all right in that. Played the full 90 minutes and then trained the rest of the week.
Yeah, I think Seb was either down at that game or he managed to get his hands on the video anyway, so that went around the WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
Straight away. So we all saw that goal and the assist. But again, you've got a foot in the door here with a professional club and it doesn't work out for you.
No, again, like they said at Leicester, they had too many people in the position already, which is similar. Like, it's hard to go at that level because there's not much room for development. If you get picked up at a 6-year-old, they might have more time to develop you. But if you're coming in at 18, or at the time I was 16, to an under 18s, if you're coming in then, you have to be a step above the people that are already there. And they felt I was at a similar level, so it was not seen to take me on at that point, as I was sort of already at that level. So
you
had to be better.
So you got positive feedback there.
Yeah,
you're at the level. You're just not better than they've invested in people already for a number of years. So it's thanks. Yeah. You're almost there.
Yeah,
but not quite.
It was obviously good to get that feedback, but you have to be that level above to sort of take someone's place that's already there.
So your next step then is you're still playing for Hashtag,
mm-hmm.
still playing games, scoring goals, making assists, making Phil Martin look good. And then you're now going into the Northampton education programme.
Yeah.
So how did that decision come about?
So that came about from playing with the elite at Northampton. They were sort of pushing for players to join the course. And I thought it's a good setup, and I've had trials with the academy there. I know a few of the players, and I thought they get opportunities to train and play alongside with the youth team. So I thought this is another good opportunity. If I can train and play well, then I'll get that chance again. So I just had to keep going at it and hoping that the youth team would pick me up.
So then how long into that experience then of training with that team and playing with that team did you start getting your foot in the door with the academy team?
So it was mainly towards the end of the season, around March, April time, where the second years of the scholarship would be told that if they were getting a pro or not. So this, a few of them got released, which helped. A few of us from the football and education programme train with the youth team because they needed a few more numbers. So during like the half terms, I'd go in and train with them and played quite well in training. So they continued the trial on for the rest of the season.
So what's the difference then in the type of football that you were playing before with Hashtag into then the football education programme into now the under 18s?
I think it's all sort of developed a bit more, like playing quicker and being more fitter and stuff like that. Obviously Hashtag was a good level, but you could probably get away with a bit more, where the youth team was sort of all drilled on and like not room for any mistakes or anything.
And then taking that on one step further, then when you get into the academy at Northampton, you start training with the first team.
Yeah, that came around quite quickly. To be fair, I was still on trial for quite a while, all the way through to August. So it was getting into the start of the season. I was still on trial, but playing well still, and then training with the first team. And they had a few injuries, so it was a bit weird because technically I wasn't signed by the youth team, but I was training with the first team.
Okay.
So yeah.
Kind of skip to level.
Anyway, yeah. And then eventually they did, after playing well and training well, did offer me a 2-year scholarship.
So now you're a fully fledged under-18 scholar playing for Northampton. You're getting chances for the first team and you're getting in there. How were those differences then between that standard of football and the first team level of football?
For me, it was quite a big step up, as never being in an academy for like properly, and obviously being in the youth team for only a couple months before fully training with the first team was a little time to sort of get into the whole how everything like works at a professional club, like going in and how training and the gym and stuff, that side of it works. So it was a little bit of a step up from just playing Sunday League a few months before that.
Yeah, and we've just had a question came in from @Blue Biswell, who's saying around that time, was there anyone in particular at Northampton that kind of took you under your wing, under their wing, kind of helped you along? Was there anyone in particular that you felt was kind of a good confidant for you?
I can't remember too clearly, but there has been a few. I see David Buchanan at the time, club captain, sort of helps with the younger kids coming through, and it sort of be encouraging. But in general, the whole squad was good with the young players. No one was really arrogant or anything to that, or like picked out the youth team or anything. Everyone was quite nice and got on with it well.
So it's a good little setup there. I mean, Keith Curl's the manager there now. Who's the manager at that particular time?
It's Dean Austin at that time.
And then you made your debut under Dean Austin as well?
That was under Keith Curl.
Oh, under Keith Curl.
Dean Austin put me on the bench for the first time. Okay,
so how was that for you?
Yeah, very weird. Like literally, like I said, going from Sunday League a few months earlier to being on the bench in a League Two match was just like crazy experience.
Yeah, because you made your debut against Cambridge, didn't you?
Yeah.
So now you're stepping on the pitch as a League Two player.
Mm-hmm.
So from going from disappointment at Leicester to disappointment at Northampton to #academy to disappointment at Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Now into Northampton and now becoming a professional footballer, making your debut. That's got to be quite a momentous occasion for you.
Yeah, I never really thought about it till after. Like once you're playing, you're just focused on the match, and I didn't really take it in too much. But obviously after the game, realizing what I've sort of accomplished in the last few years, I had to sort of take a step back and have a look at it.
And then you played 5 games in your first season. You played 11 games this season. You've also scored a goal.
Mm-hmm.
You're in there. So talk us through your one goal that you've got against your name in league football currently.
Yeah, it was my first start this season, first league start this season, which is in Carlisle, out of all places. Away a Tuesday night in Carlisle. First start of the season in the league. It was 0-0 at half time. We made a few changes at half time, and then straight away, I think it was the 51st minute. So only like 5-6 minutes into the second half, a cross gets put in. The ball sort of bouncing towards the edge of the box, and sort of hitting hope with the left foot.
Hitting hope. I don't believe that for 1 minute. I've seen your right foot, and I've seen your left foot as well. So I'm sure it went exactly where you wanted it to go.
Yeah, just about.
And then this year, you've also played against Wayne Rooney in the FA Cup.
Yeah, another crazy experience.
I was going to say, I mean, you're setting foot on a pitch with a legend, but then being at the Wembley Cup and being in some of the hashtag games, you've already played with some really big names.
Yeah, that was one of the conversations before that game we were having with a few of the Northampton players was like, oh, is this going to be like the most watched game and something like, is this like was Rooney going to be the one person, like the biggest person you played against? And I was sort of sitting there like, I've sort of played against the likes of Steven Gerrard and all these other England legends, that it's obviously a big thing, but maybe not as big as I thought it was, as I've already sort of seen and like played against them big names.
Because as well with that, you must have also played in front of more people at that Wembley Cup game than some of the full-time pros who've been in the game for a number of years at League Two.
Yeah, if a few of them haven't, like, obviously this season we did get the playoffs, but in the past some of them have never been in promotion, like playoff sides, so they wouldn't have had that big crowd. Some of them might even be like 10,000, the maximum they've played in front of, where the Wembley Cup was about 35,000.
And then, so to cap off this season, you also had that period of time that you weren't playing, then you've come back for the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then you're part of a League Two playoff promotion-winning team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's quite a big build-up. Obviously, we didn't know if it was going to happen or not, or if it was going to go to points per game and teams be automatically promoted without the playoffs. But when we found out, we were all like buzzing for it, and obviously there's no crowd there, but going to Wembley again is going to be a big occasion.
Yeah, and just let you know, Jack Mate's in the chat. Hello, Jack Mate. I watch all your videos. Well, not all of them, but some of them whenever I can. Very nice. Right. So now, did you get a playoff winning medal? Have you?
It hasn't arrived yet, but it's on the way. Should arrive at the end of this week.
Yeah. What are you going to do with it?
I've got a few up there, which is with my Wembley one, so I'll probably add it to that.
That's my Wembley one. Sits on the wall.
Yeah, I'll probably add it up there. I need to probably get I've still got the shirt in the wardrobe, so I'll probably frame that soon with the medal, and then get my Cobblers one, the Northampton one, framed as well with the medal. Nice.
Right. I said I was going to keep you for half an hour, and we've been about 40 minutes so far. So a couple of quick fire questions. Just to finish. First one is from Carabini_93. Who's the best player that you've played with, not including the legends at the World Cup?
You say not including Wembley Cup?
That's what I said. Yeah.
My
question is from Carabini_93.
I don't know. There's we had a good squad. Obviously, we've got a good squad this season, but we had quite a few League One players the season before that left. One that stands out maybe is Matt Crooks. He's at Rotherham now. Obviously got them promoted, but he was sort of one in training, which you couldn't get the ball off him.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe potentially him.
Lucas Murray, I think that's right. 07 says, what advice would you give to people to get where you are right now?
Definitely just never giving up. That I've sort of shown throughout this interview that all these stages I've been turned away, could have easily given up, but you just have to keep going. If you believe in yourself, then you'll definitely achieve. As I've, like I said, turned away 3 times, maybe even four times with other clubs and stuff. So I think, yeah, definitely to never give up and just to be dedicated and enjoy what you do.
Sound bit of advice there. At Jake_Glasheen says, what's the best moment of your career so far? You've got a few highlights to pick from.
Yeah, it's either going to be signing the first professional or the first professional goal. But I think I'll go with the first goal at Carlisle.
Guys, this question is just coming from Dan Brown. He said, Scotty, how did you rescue that tee shot at Delapre par 3 to make par?
I don't know myself. I don't know how I've done that. I've never hit I've never hit a chip shot that well. On Dan's story, you can see the tee shot went a bit to the right, and it was behind the bush, and I had to chip it over the bush, pitch it just perfectly on the hill so it rolls down to the hole, and luckily saved the par. But yeah, I still to this day don't know how I've done that.
Yeah, I love the detail that you're going to give to that about a chip shot golf on Delapre. If anyone knows Delapre par 3. Yeah.
Best shot I've ever hit, probably.
Right, I've got one question to finish with. So if anyone else has got any questions, now your time to ask, because I've already kept Scotty longer than I told him.
That's
I'll keep him. My final question is, you can have a training session with 3 players. They're in their prime, so it can be any 3 players for any period of time. Who are you going to choose and why?
I think first one will be Messi. I think for obvious reasons, like one of the best, well, if not the best in the world. I think it'd just be amazing to see his technique and that live. And obviously, just to train alongside him would be a dream. Thinking maybe to add a keeper. Obviously, with a training session, it'd be nice to have a keeper in goal to shoot at. But there's also maybe Van der Sar that's available.
Okay, fair enough.
I watched, obviously, like I said earlier, I watched quite a lot of Man United games growing up, and he was sort of someone that stood out in all the Premier League titles and Champions League titles they won. So maybe it's a bit of a weird one, but yeah, Van der Sar in goal, someone to shoot at. And then I think I've got one behind here, the man Ronaldinho. I think growing up, he was probably one of the first footballers I ever watched, and I think the session will be so much enjoyable with him alongside me.
So you're basically feeding balls into Messi and Ronaldinho to try and score past Van der Sar.
Yeah, that's how it's going to look.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty decent session to me.
Yeah.
Right, Scott, thank you very much for your time. Thoroughly enjoyed the chat and to catch up. Congratulations on promotion, and congratulations also, you've just signed a new contract as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
So congratulations on your new contract. Congratulations on promotion.
Thank you.
Yeah, we should actually get a game of golf in at some point.
Yeah.
Again, bring Seb and Dan Brown along as well, as they're in the chat.
Sounds good.
And you can show me how good you are at golf. Right, mate. Quality chat. Thank you very much for that.
No worries.
Right. Take care.
See ya.
Speak to you soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Right, guys. Thank you very much for everyone that has tuned in for that. Quality chat to Scott Pollock. What a player he is. A thoroughly nice guy. And I mentioned it before about his mentality and how he's got a steely confidence about him. It's brilliant. Next week, next Tuesday, so it's not Tuesday Talks on a Wednesday like it was today because Scott had to get his hair cut yesterday. It's Tuesday Talks on a Tuesday, but it is going to be a little bit later. It's 9 o'clock. It's with Jimmy Conrad. Jimmy's going to come in for a chat about his career and his ups and downs along the way. I might have had a haircut by then. I doubt it very much. But yeah, thanks everyone who's tuned in. Have a good evening. See you all next week.